Welcome, associates, gather on the stand. The trial's a circus, but I've got a plan. Not a grifter, still worse than Dan. Hopscotch squares, don't trip, don't fall. BK and a felony, I've heard it all. Shake it, magic 8 ball. Tell me the truth, will justice call? Me be the diva, she's running the show. Chief Capone and Meg, yeah, everybody knows. Fat, we're fat, well, nobody knows. What the corn echoes as the chaos grows. My credibility left in a vehicle. Hopscotch squares, don't trip, don't fall. BK and a felony, I've heard it all. Shake it, magic 8 ball. Tell me the truth, will justice call? What the corn echoes as the chaos grows. My credibility left in a vehicle.
Don't be like Dan.
Don't be like Dan. That guy's face makes me laugh every time.
Hilarious.
I should have pasted Dan Broderick's face over his. Since that's the Dan, I was told that I am worse than the dead Dan Broderick. You suck. Okay, whatever. Oh, well, what's up, Baker? Well, will Carmen be back? I don't know. You took her. You said she was your co-host, so good luck with that, Baker. Just me and Gabby. We'll just be sitting over here.
Hopefully you don't disagree with her, Baker. Better watch out.
She'll be back Monday because she has to work the rest of the week. She may pop in because she's not at work yet. But it's close. All right, I got to find where am I.
Hello, Frankie.
Sir Frank, sorry that you got called in. Be safe. What's up, Ronnie? Senorita Bonita.
Baker.
What's up, Frank? How you doing? Well, you're not as mean as someone else.
He's talking about you. My mic was muted through that whole thing, so that.
Oh, I know
me.
he's talking about me. I birthed her. I can yell at her. I can also take her off screen, and she took me off screen too.
That was funny. Yes.
And then I took her off screen, and we just left Gabby by herself.
Yeah, that was awkward.
Was hilarious.
I was like, "Dang it, people! What is this, Baker's show?"
Oh, Carmen will pop in. I hope so. So I know you guys all wanted to, set me on fire, put me in a van, and roll me down a hill last night after we didn't get a verdict. But
yeah, that was like, what?
I would apologize, but I had no control over the jury, so I don't know. But I did look at some other things that happened after the trial that we watched and before her new trial. And they're kind of interesting. And I really do, Ronnie, get in the pan. I think that's what that means. They're interesting. And I really hope that Carmen does pop in, because she was kind of right and I was right on the whole interrogation thing. So I have the appeal that her lawyer sent in to the judge asking for an acquittal, and the judge responded. She did not get convicted. It was a hung jury, 10-2. Only 2 voted to convict. But she did go to trial again in 2011. That one, they did find her guilty on one count of criminally negligent homicide, I think is what it was, because I couldn't say it last night. She did 3 years. She appealed that decision, which she'd already done I think probably done her 3 years or was close to getting that over with by the time that appeal was denied in 2015. So, but
Oh, so she was in jail at that time, so they did like what time served basically?
I don't know because she was out on bond in between.
Mhm.
And I don't know if she was in jail during her first trial or not, or if she was out on bond. I think she was probably out.
Mm.
Um, but she appealed her conviction. The jury was hung on I think counts 1 through 7 on her second trial.
That's so crazy.
And Jason Riddell refused to testify, so they played his testimony from the first trial at the second trial. And they played the medical examiner's testimony from the first trial at the second trial.
Wow.
I mean, it's kind of weird.
I wonder how come he refused?
I don't know. And then at the second trial, um, there was a witness there that worked with Sergeant Habib from the Craig Police Department that said that he had told her after the first trial was over that he lied on the stand during Rochelle's trial.
Crazy.
I'm like, really? But then when I went to see like what did he lie about, it was kind of like who took some photographs. It if that's all he lied about, it didn't make any difference. The other thing that she said that he told her was that he could get a confession out of everybody or out of anybody. That one kind of weighed on me because of the appeal, the motion for acquittal, and then what came after that. So it's kind of crazy. I can tell you guys about it quickly if you want me to. If you're just done with it, we can be done with it. So, but yeah, it just didn't like it took 6 years to finally just have this done and be over for her. Um, like insane. It took her whole teenage years, like all of
Ronnie, tell us quickly.
it. Sometimes it's not smart to appeal a sentence. I mean, you might as well try because if they would have, well, yeah, I don't know. That could have came out badly and had her retried again, I guess.
Mm.
So I'm gonna take us off here, Gabby.
Mhm.
So this is the motion for judgment of acquittal. It's not very long. Basically, this is what her attorneys gave to the judge to sign. Says Rochelle Waterman seeks a judgment of acquittal following deadlock by the jury on all counts against Miss Waterman. This question requires the court to determine whether viewing the evidence and all inferences from the evidence in a light most favorable to the state, fair-minded jurors could differ on whether guilt has been established beyond a reasonable doubt. That motion is denied. Sorry, judge must have wrote this. And other attorneys that I've dealt with, they write the motion and then the judge will sign it or not. So, my apologies. I'm not an attorney or a judge or a criminal. So I don't know. Consideration of the motion for judgment of acquittal and the entirety of the trial record has, however, caused the court to review and reflect on an earlier order denying the motion to suppress statements Rochelle Waterman made to police on November 19th. In denying the motion to suppress, the court made a number of fact findings and concluded that while the evidence was not, sorry, some of these letters are unequivocal, consideration of the totality of circumstances surrounding the statement supported the conclusion that the statements were not coerced and were voluntary. Trial testimony and exhibits revealed a number of facts not known or recognized as significant at the time the suppression order entered. That evidence makes some of the earlier fact findings regarding the November 19th statements incomplete or inaccurate. Consideration of the trial evidence also changes the court's view on the totality of the circumstances and relative coerciveness of the interrogation.
I do declare.
I do declare. At least we don't
Hold
have
on. We should have Flash Fan come up here and read this as if he was a woman. This is bringing me back. This is bringing me back to good times.
I hope they throw an aforesaid in for good.
I force it.
Aforesaid. Specifically, this court found that the officers that interviewed Miss Waterman were truthful with her as argued by the state. Sergeant McFerrin admitted in trial testimony that he repeatedly lied to Miss Waterman during this interview about the evidence in the case and statements he attributed to the co-defendants. He also acknowledged that he lied in an earlier interview with Miss Waterman on November 17th, where he and Trooper Claus told Miss Waterman that they believed that she was not involved in or responsible for her mother's death. Finally, it became clear at trial that the officers lied to Miss Waterman on the 17th when they repeatedly told her that the interview would be confidential. Lying to a suspect about the existence or weight of evidence does not automatically render a confession involuntary, but it is a factor to be considered in the viewing of the totality of the circumstances. Some of the lies the officers repeated to Miss Waterman are especially problematic. Specifically, Waterman was repeatedly told on November 19th that Riddell and Aaron stated that she assisted in the planning for the unaliving of November 13th by telling them which window in the garage would be open for them to gain access to the Waterman home, and that Riddell, as directed, used that window to gain entry. Brian Riddell.
Workbench.
Brian Riddell testified that he asked Jason Arent for this information about the home to assist in the break-in, but learned nothing and went in blind, which goes to the fact that she never gave them the layout of the house because Brian said he didn't know where he was going. So
they had never actually been in her house before?
No.
Okay.
At least Brian hadn't.
Huh.
Arent probably snuck in. Arent testified at trial.
Probably true. He just couldn't stay away from the poo-tang.
He's just gross. Waterman told him at some unspecified point in time that she used the garage window, the one that Riddell used to break in, when she snuck out of the house, even assuming without benefit of the transcripts or tapes of the statements made by Riddell and Arent to police that this testimony is consistent with earlier statements by Arent to the police. Arent was clearly mistaken or lying about the alleged use of the break-in window by Waterman. In addition, Arent testified at trial that he was not sure he ever told Riddell about the window that Rochelle Waterman used to sneak out of the house. The police testified that the break-in window was covered in cobwebs and dust. Doc Waterman testified that he and his wife caught Waterman sneaking in a ground floor family room window on the other side of the house from the garage break-in window. That was larger and more accessible. Excuse me. That the window in the garage and more accessible than the window in the garage. That doesn't make sense.
Well, hold on one second. Bad Dazzer said he followed the smell.
Oh, gross. This event is one of the reasons Waterman was on tight restriction in the weeks prior to the unaliving. Rochelle Waterman echoed that she snuck out through the family room window. However, after repeated statements by the police that she aided Riddell and Arent in the unaliving by telling them how to get into the house, she ultimately began, quote-unquote, confessing that she was responsible for how Arent gained entry to the house. Even assuming that Waterman told Arent which window she used to sneak out of the house, it was conceded at trial that this was not the window Riddell used to break into the house. Therefore, this information did not aid in the break-in. Yet it was used at grand jury and trial as a cornerstone for the theories of conspiracy and aiding and abetting. The aspect of the quote-unquote confession, i.e. that Waterman aided in the break-in by providing information about how to break into the house, falls apart under close scrutiny. It also makes the existence of what is, in essence, a false acknowledgement of responsibility shed doubt on the reliability of other statements of potential responsibility for her mother's death more suspect. The state's evidence against Waterman is essentially grounded on two factual claims. One, she asked directly or indirectly, Aaron, and by extension, Riddell, to unalive her mother, stating she was being psychologically and or physically abused. And 2, she helped accomplish the unaliving by advising about the sneak out window, which was not used to break in, and advising that she and her father would be gone for the weekend. In November, I think that's supposed in the November, I think it's supposed to say on the November 17th and 19th interviews,
In,
Waterman
on, around, near
I
the
don't know.
November.
Waterman acknowledged that she told Aaron and Riddell, from her perspective, her mother abused her and she was depressed. By the time of the November 19th interview, the officers told her repeatedly that they knew she asked Riddell and Aaron to unalive her mother and that she was lying when she said otherwise.
Oh, wait a second. Ronnie said, I thought Jason said that he couldn't get in through the window Rochelle normally used.
I don't know. Because he never
That's
tried to
a,
get in.
huh.
But there was something about that side of the house, somebody said last night too, that Brian said he wouldn't use. But I don't know. Only after being told that the officers would quote unquote stand up with her if she took responsibility, i.e., agreed with their statements, but would tell the jury, the district attorney, and the judge that she did not cooperate if she did not, did she finally state that she agreed at an earlier point to the proposal to unalive her mother, then told them not to do it, but then did not expressly tell them not to do it when she suspected that they might again make the attempt on the weekend of November 14th. This threat of harsher consequences if she did not change her statement was coercive. Having considered the totality of the circumstances, including the trial testimony, the court is not satisfied that the state has proved that Miss Waterman's will was not overcome by these statements and the other problematic circumstances of the interview. Trial testimony made clear, contrary to grand jury testimony, that Rochelle Waterman's father was not notified of the November 19th interview by police, although he was easily accessible. Sergeant McPherson, whatever his name is, could not recall at trial if Mr. Waterman specifically asked him if his daughter was a suspect, but stated that he never told him that she was a suspect. When police picked up Rochelle Waterman for the second interview at the police station, she and the neighbor that was with her were told that the interview was just to tie up a few loose ends. As stated in the first order, the lack of parental presence for the interview of a juvenile does not, standing alone, make the interview involuntary. It is, however, another factor that is considered in the totality of the circumstances surrounding the interview. Here, Here, trial testimony made clear that Mr. Waterman was not contacted before the interview, even though it would have been easy to do so, and even though Rochelle Waterman, then 16 and 3 months of age, had become a target of the investigation. These circumstances are troubling, particularly given the fact that 2 days earlier, Rochelle Waterman was repeatedly told by the officers that the interview was confidential and that they would not divulge what she told them, including her admissions about sexual relations with Aaron and Riddell, to anyone, including her father. Thus, she had reason at the start of the November 19th interview not to want her father present, such that he would learn of her sexual relations with these older men, a fact that he testified at trial he was not aware of at the time.
So hold on one second.
Gotta have your
Whoever
drink.
said, she's like, I'm parched. Um, whoever said, I think one of the windows was 4x4 and the other was 6x4. I can't remember which one, but I remember that part when her dad testified for the second time.
I don't know. It would make sense if
Flashman said, wait, what's today? November 12th.
Wednesday. It would make sense if Jason or if Brian Riddell had to go through a bigger window
Yeah.
because he's huge
He's
compared to her.
legit a Jolly the Green Giant.
Yes.
He's huge.
Yeah. So, I mean, that makes sense. but I don't know if he just found it or if he was told. That's
Well, he
the
definitely wasn't getting through the cat door. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, whoever. They both seem big enough to get through, though. Yep. Waterman was advised of her Miranda rights at the commencement of the second interview. When she asked why she was being told these rights, Sergeant McFerrin told her he was just being cautious. Given the promises of confidentiality 2 days earlier and an obvious incentive not to have her father learn of her sexual history, the potential for confusion and coercion was enhanced. On the balance, this court has become convinced that the November 19th interview should be suppressed. The Alaska appellate courts impose a quote unquote heavy burden on the state to prove that a juvenile confession is voluntary. While again, the totality of the evidence is not unequivocal on the question of whether these statements were voluntary, the burden has not been met. And apparently, they had asked to have this interview suppressed before the trial.
I did read that after, yes.
The November 19th interview was the centerpiece of the grand jury case against Miss Waterman. As her statements from that interview are inadmissible, the indictment must be dismissed. No claim has been made that the November 17th interview is inadmissible, and the court assumes this was and is based on defense strategy. However, if this case is again submitted to a grand jury, the court assumes that the state will limit its presentation of evidence to accurate and admissible evidence, and that errors in the prior grand jury proceedings referenced in this order will not be repeated. So her indictment was dismissed without prejudice, though. So they were allowed to bring it back. And she made this ruling here without telling the lawyers that she was doing it, without telling
Wow.
them that she was reconsidering her
Wait,
interview.
Judge Scarecrow?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Oh, hey,
she
Snipe.
she what's up? Sorry, everybody that I've missed. Hello. So she did that. I got to put us back. There we are. So she did that without telling the either side that she was doing it. So the state was not able to present any arguments towards why she shouldn't do it, and obviously the defense would have been like, "Yay!" But but it didn't end there. So the state appealed her decision about the interview. So, this is why I wish Karma was here, because this is where she was half right and I was half right.
Interesting.
Oh, let me grab this one real quick. And then we will move on to our current things. All right, so I skipped a bunch of, there's the recap of the trial. We know how that went. We know all those details. There was also some cases that the appellate court cited on what they were weighing this against, as far as a juvenile or somebody, the police questioning. And I skipped that because we don't know any of those cases. I just am trying to get through it. But so Waterman, so this is the appellate decision. So Waterman was 16 years old at the time of the November 19th interview. She was intelligent and a good student. She had not had any prior contact with the criminal justice system, although she had been interviewed twice before about her mother's death. Apparently went voluntarily to the police station. When Miss Waterman arrived at the police station, Trooper McFerrin advised her of her rights. Waterman agreed to talk to the authorities. McFerrin told her that she had the right to have her father present. Waterman declined. McFerrin confirmed that she was talking to them voluntarily and assured her that she was free to go. Trooper McFerrin then told Waterman that Aaron and Riddell had told them, quote unquote, everything about her participation in the plot to kill and unalive her mother. Oops. McFerrin confronted Waterman with Aaron and Riddell's statements about their prior plots to unalive her mother and their description of how the last plan was carried out. Waterman cried and acknowledged that she had mentioned unaliving her mother to Aaron and Riddell, but insisted she was not serious. She insisted that she had told them that she did not want them to do anything to her mother, although Waterman admitted she had told Aaron and Riddell that she and her father would be out of town for the weekend. Waterman insisted that she had only brought it up in passing, telling them that her team was going to the state volleyball tournament. She admitted that she had an idea that they might do something to her mother that weekend, but insisted that she told them not to do it. Waterman claimed that she had telephoned Aaron from Anchorage because she knew that he and Riddell were thinking about unaliving her mother, and she told them not to do anything. She stated when she came back on Sunday, Aaron called her and told her that he had carried out the plan. Waterman said she was horrified. She admitted that she, and I don't know what, star 1122, had not told anyone. I guess it must, I
It
don't know
must
what,
be their 911,
or is it
maybe.
another one's name? Somebody? I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't have any idea what that is.
It's like
Including the,
witness 1, witness
yeah,
2.
1122. No idea.
1122.
But she and 1122 had not told anyone, including the police, and that she knew what had happened to her mother. At this point, Trooper McFerrin told Waterman that although she was 16, it was a serious offense and she would be automatically waived into adult court and she would be treated and would not be treated as a juvenile. She was now playing in the big leagues. Trooper McFerrin told Waterman that he did not understand why she continued to lie. If she continued to lie, it would be difficult for anyone to believe her. He told her a bunch of strangers are going to look at you and judge you based upon your behavior, based on how you deal with this and how you answered these following questions. Arguably, this speech constitutes a prohibited threat under Beavers, which is
Are
appropriate.
you kidding me? I cannot get away from that dang word. Everywhere I turn, beaver, 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 beavers. They're everywhere.
Well, I thought it was an appropriate case to put this one up against.
Oh, good Lord. Dang beavers, they're haunting me.
Arguably, this speech constitutes a prohibited threat under Beavers. That is, a threat of harsher treatment if Waterman declined to cooperate. In Beavers, the Alaska I'm a child. The Alaska
They
Supreme
couldn't
Court.
make it bear instead?
Nope.
Jeez.
The Alaska Supreme Court expressed its approval of the Ninth Circuit's court holding in Harrison, which is the other case. In Harrison, the agent, after telling Harrison that she could receive a 20-year sentence, asked Harrison whether she thought it would be better if the judge were told that she had cooperated or not cooperated. The Alaska Supreme Court noted that with approval, the Ninth Circuit's holding that the law enforcement officer's suggestion that he might inform the judge of the defendant's failure to cooperate was inherently coercive. Arguably, Trooper McFerrin's statement was a similar threat that a jury would be told of Waterman's lack of cooperation. However, even if Trooper McFerrin's statement was an improper threat under Beavers, we conclude that Waterman's statements directly following that exchange rebut the Beavers' presumption of involuntariness.
They obviously have never met Nibby, now have they?
Yep, you and I are thinking of two different Beavers. Under Beavers, a threat makes a defendant's statement following the threat presumptively involuntary. But if there is evidence affirmatively indicating that the suspect's will was not overcome by the threats, these statements can still be voluntary. Following Trooper McFerrin's statement, Waterman continued to insist that she had telephoned Aaron and told him not to go through with the unaliving. It thus seems clear that Waterman's will to resist was not overcome. So that part stands.
Well, hold on one second. Frank says, beavers sounds like an animal, but I think I'll Google it to be sure. Then Flashfan says, Ronald Beaver versus State. Then Snipe said, look up shaved beavers, Frank.
So, Frank, don't do it.
Flashfan says, Nivy Beaver versus System. Frank said, just Googled beavers and found a lot of fluffy things. Whoever said, leave it to Beaver. Where Debbie said, there was even a beaver moon. Oh, trust me, Debbie, I know about it because first thing I wake up in the morning, go on Facebook, bam, beaver moon. I'm like, are you kidding me? Wherever I look,
For those of you that
beavers.
don't know, in my intro where it says Nibby, even though it says Neeby, Nibby the beaver, she's running the show. That's Nibby, the diva beaver. She lives in Massachusetts, and the governor like takes care of her and all this stuff, and Gabby hates it.
I hate it. I hate the
She-
beaver, and I hate that she takes care of her, and I hate the whole situation. Go YouTube a video about Nibby the diva beaver, and this is why we can't get crap done in Massachusetts. This beaver,
It's
this
hilarious.
beaver. It's horrifying.
She's kind of a little snot.
She is. She's a little bish beaver. Let me tell you that.
So later in the interview, Trooper McFerrin suggested they take a break. We all saw that. So the officers were gone for about 8 minutes because I think that's when he ran over to get the arrest warrant. This is where they run into issues. And then so this is why when I heard that Mr. Habib lied on the stand, I was like, yeah, it doesn't surprise me. So then Sergeant Habib re-entered the room. He told Waterman that 3 homicide investigators and a crime lab technicians had been working on the case constantly for 5 days, that they had gathered evidence and conducted numerous interviews. He claimed that the police had an airtight case against Aaron and Riddell. They had confessed and told them all of the details about what happened. He further claimed that not only had Aaron and Riddell told the police about all about Waterman's involvement, but the police had other evidence of her involvement. He told Waterman that Trooper McFerrin was one of the top homicide investigators and interviewers in the state. Sergeant Habib told her, McFerrin's got you. He's got you. He's got your involvement in this case. Habib then stated, you have a choice, and this is the only choice you have. This is the only decision you have to make right now. This is not a game. This is not high school. Do you want us to stand up with the district attorney and tell them that you cooperated, you screwed up, you weren't thinking? Or do you want us to stand up and say, 5 days you lied to us? Down to the end, when we present all this evidence in front of a jury, you continue to lie to us and bullshit us in trying to show us you're smarter. I'm tougher. This is Rochelle's answer. And then it's indiscernible simultaneous speech. Then Sergeant Habib, listen to me. Do you want us to do that? Do you want a jury to hear that? Do you want a judge to hear that? Or do you want us to stand up and say, this kid screwed up. She at least stepped up to the plate and was honest with star 1123. I don't know what that is with us. Which one? Those are your 2 choices. Rochelle answers, the first one, Sergeant Habib. Then you need to start doing it. We're not dumb. That man is not dumb. You're giving him a little piece here, trying to appease us. I'm sitting over here shaking my head, watching you lie, and it's not helping you any. It's not helping you at all. He's pissed. He's ready to just go for it. Let's do it. You're a kid. It's time to act like an adult. Now, do you want to talk to him again and be straight with him? If you're straight with that man, I will stand up, he will stand up, and the DA will stand up and say she cooperated. It's your choice. That's where we're at. In other words, Sergeant Habib threatened Waterman with harsher consequences for not cooperating with the investigators. As in Harrison, the officers had already told Waterman that she was facing a serious offense and would be waived into adult court, and that she would be playing in the big leagues. She was told that a jury, a bunch of strangers, would be judging her behavior and how she answered the questions. In his statements following the break, Sergeant Habib told Waterman that she had one choice. Did she want the officers to tell the judge and jury Waterman cooperated and had just made a mistake, or does she want the officers to say that she had lied to them for 5 days? In our view,
Hold on one second. Ronnie said, so was this during the interview that we watched?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
So this was after they went out of the room. Then Sergeant Habib came back in, was just talking to her by herself. before Investigator McPherson came back in and she apologized to him. This all took place with just Rochelle and Sergeant Habib. In our view, Sergeant Habib's statements constitute an impermissible threat under Beavers. The threat that Sergeant Habib made to Waterman are similar to the threats that the Beavers court said.
Are you kidding? Are you actually kidding me? Are you this is a joke, right?
I should have read.
This is a joke.
You know, when I read this morning, the whole Beaver thing wasn't even sticking out to me.
Really? Because that would have
Yeah.
been the first thing I would have seen. Flash Fan had said, everyone I know Gabby's secret, she's gonna adopt Nibby.
Yeah.
I said, which YouTube didn't let through, but I said, Flash Fan, I'm a beaver nap her, drop her off on the bad side of the dam, and let the real beavers take care of her.
Wow.
All right? That's what's gonna happen.
North side.
Yes, Beaver gang. Let's go did a super chat. Beaver equals furry F box.
I think so. That's where I took it. Gabby's concentrating on a different beaver. I gotta find for him.
Unbelievable.
The threats that Sergeant Habib made to Waterman are similar to the threats the Beavers court set out in discussing the Harrison case.
Court? This is out of control now.
Waterman was told that she faced harsh punishment as an adult, and Sergeant Habib made it clear that Waterman's cooperation or non-cooperation would be brought to the attention of the judge and jury. She was asked if she wanted the officers to be on her side and stand up and say she cooperated, or whether she wanted them to say that she had continued to lie to them. Waterman's statement following this threat no longer rebut the presumption of involuntariness. I can't say that word. When Trooper McPherson re-entered the room, Waterman apologized for her behavior. After Sergeant Habib's statements, Waterman made admissions that she was, quote unquote, pretty sure that Aaron and Riddell planned to unalive her mother that weekend. Waterman conceded that, although she had talked to Aaron while she was away in Anchorage, she had not told Aaron that she had changed her mind and that he should not unalive her mother. According to the analysis set out in Beavers, when the police used the threats of harsher punishment to induce a confession, the resulting confession should be considered involuntary unless the state can show affirmatively that the confession was voluntarily made. Waterman made her admissions after Sergeant Habib's statement. Therefore, her statements are presumptively involuntary. We conclude that the evidence is insufficient to rebut the presumption.
Frank says the Beaver stuff is damning evidence.
Aha! That's what you did there. The state argues that the facts in Waterman are not similar to the facts in Beavers. The state argues that Sergeant Habib did not threaten Waterman with harsher consequences if she did not choose to talk with them, but only told her truthfully what was going to happen at trial. So it's like, well, make up your mind. Are you telling her the truth or are you going to lie to her? Like, she doesn't know. The problem with the state's argument is that it seems to conflict with the Ninth Circuit's reasoning in Harrison. In Beavers, the Alaska Supreme Court quoted with approval the language in Harrison that there is no legitimate purpose for the statement that failure to cooperate will be reported, and because its only apparent objective is to coerce, we disapprove the making of such representations. The court's condemnation of such representations is sweeping, and it appears to condemn such representations as coercive, even if they are true.
Lesko sent another super chat and said, Gabby Beaver involve broken soft as dental dam. No oddity sign up for that, and it ended in marriage contract anyways. I can't read this. Like piece of cord.
Piece of cord. He said nobody. That was funny.
You know, the Beavers are just everywhere nowadays. They're out of control. It's ridiculous.
Let's see. The state also argues that Sergeant Habib only suggested that Waterman would suffer consequences if she lied, not from exercising her right to remain silent. But Sergeant Habib's statements appear to be more coercive than the statements that the 1124 federal agent made in Harrison. The state may be arguing that Waterman had already given up her right to remain silent by talking to police. But as the Alaska Supreme Court pointed out in Beavers, the right to remain silent includes the right to terminate an interrogation at any time, and Sergeant Habib's statement seemed more threatening than the statement the court found was inherently coercive in Harrison. And the agent might inform the judge that Harrison had not cooperated.
Lesko says 40% of chat agrees. Gabby's beaver, gross. My beaver is clean.
Good.
Just saying.
High five.
Just want to make that clear.
I don't know what to do.
Okay. Flashman says it's a beaver apocalypse.
I'd say thumbs up, but I don't want to. So
those beavers will stick logs where they don't belong, Snipe says. You see? You say one word and this chat goes crazy.
I know. And carrying
We'll take
out
your word for it. Well, I guess you have to. Let's go there, not me.
Yeah, well, you just said it was clean, not.
Well, I just want to make sure that everyone knows it's clean and it's not gross, okay?
Okay.
All right. Now that we have that cleared up, go on with the beaver talk.
Thank you. In carrying out our duty to conduct an independent review of the voluntariness of Waterman's November 19th statement, we have carefully reviewed the videotape of the interview as well as the transcript. We have reviewed and considered Judge Collins' findings. We conclude that most of Waterman's November 19th statement was voluntary, but we find that the statements Sergeant Habib made to Waterman after the break constituted threats and are forbidden under Beavers. And we conclude that the statements that Waterman made after those threats were involuntary and therefore must be suppressed. So basically, they agreed that half of her just up to the break is going. They can show that, and they can't show anything after the break. Is the way that I took
up
that.
To the break in the dam, or
yep, that one.
Oh.
So, and then it said regarding the validity of the indictment, the decision of the Superior Court is vacated. The Superior Court is directed to reassess the validity of the indictment by evaluating the remaining admissible evidence under the Stearns test. So they did not uphold her dismissing, even though she dismissed it without prejudice. They did not uphold that part. There we are.
Let's go.
That's what happened.
He wanted to make a correction saying it was my butthole, not my beaver. Then he said, this is what happens when you put a beaver too close to butthole.
I was going to say, I'm staying out of it, but...
Oh, there was a break on her beaver, Snipe said?
So I would assume then her second trial, they could not show after they took a break. I would say they could only show that first part. And that probably made that even harder to...
The dam broke. This is what happens. Oh, Frank. I love Frank's sense of humor because it's super dry and like dad jokes. Damn it.
Yes, they had a different judge for trial too.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, so on to today's. I got to take a drink. My throat is like so dry.
I'm
Sorry.
parched.
So on to our new trial. Well, new to us, or new to me, and I will say
a nudist.
A nudist trial. New.
A nudist trial?
A nudist trial. Well, it wasn't Judge Judy Flashman, that's for sure.
No, he said male judge. Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't
it
see
was.
that one.
It was. Um,
Ash,
feel like and
YouTube daddy is always, censorship is always strong.
absolutely. I don't know what's happening with it lately.
It's
It's
so
been
rude.
crazy.
I'm sure she's trying to say so many funny beaver things, but YouTube was like, no, no, no,
No,
no.
not today. Not today. Oh, give me a sec. All right. So I don't know if I'm saying this woman's last name correctly or not, but we are going to Florida. It's Florida versus, I don't know if it's Cannon, whatever. I don't know her name. Her first name is Stacey, so we will call her that.
Kananen?
Kananen. I have no idea.
Kananen. Kananen.
We'll see when they tell us, but I don't know. Beavers, buttholes,
Hmm.
and nudists. Good channel. Thanks,
Yeah,
Brandon. That's always what you want your son to say to you.
actually, that sounds like a really good rock band name.
So this trial happened in 2010. The crime, well, I don't know when the crime happened. It involves a brother and a sister. The brother has already pleaded guilty, and he's going to testify against his sister in exchange for a 30-year prison sentence.
Stacey's mom.
Yeah, she did not have it going on.
She has got it not going on.
She does not. So, 41-year-old Stacey, whatever her last name is, faces a life sentence for allegedly helping her brother unalive their mother and bury her remains under a rock garden at their home in 2003. The prosecution claims the siblings were after a $250,000 family insurance payout. The defense blames Stacey's brother, Richard, who pleaded and will testify against his sister in exchange for a 30-year prison sentence. However, the jury will not know the siblings were also implicated in the 1988 unaliving of their father, whose remains were also found buried under the garage of their mother's home. So, 15 years apart, both their parents are gone and both buried at their house. It's weird. So, and I will just tell you this, that when I was going through, because I was um, trying to see which one we were going to do to start today, I don't I don't know how this one ends. I knew how the last one ended because they said how it ended and I couldn't avoid it. I've been very, very careful, and this one doesn't tell me, just says verdict. And so I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy. Brother, sister, brotherly love.
I don't know. Did I just giggle at burying bodies? I might have. We, we have, I don't know. I think it just hit me when I was reading that we have two moms that bit the dust, maybe by the hands of their kids.
Another one bites the dust.
Yeah. So I don't know. They said she was mummified. It's called the mummified mother buried in the
That's
rock
crazy.
garden. So
I mean,
I
how do
have
you
no
do that?
idea. I promise nothing because I don't know.
No,
Just stop
no,
that.
Snipe. We don't pinky promise anything. We don't guarantee anything. You're just here on a whim. We don't guarantee. We don't even give you a receipt because you're not returning anything in here. You
That's right.
say it, you done it, that's it. It's out there. Sorry, bud. No takesies backsies.
Promise me a pony. I
Promise me a
cannot.
pony. I cannot either.
I can't.
I will
Not
not.
even.
Not even a beaver. Definitely not a beaver. If I can't promise you a pony, you're not getting a beaver.
That's right.
Two reasons. One, shits. too. Giggles.
Rude.
Sorry. Sorry. Facts.
But so if you do know the end of this, don't tell us again because I don't know.
Frank, dang. No beavers today? I'm out of here.
There might be. We have not watched anything yet. We're going to watch opening statements today.
Okay.
And that will be all for today because going through this and trying to keep everything without it being like 4 hours long. And plus I wanted to go over the Rochelle Waterman stuff. So that'll take us a while. So let's go. Tell me if I don't have anything boosted or sped up or anything. So just let me know if I need to adjust the volume and I will.
Proceeding.
Sounds fabulous to me.
Good morning, ladies and
Is
gentlemen.
that a bat on her
I hope
shirt?
you got a good.
Is she a
She's in the
Superman?
middle.
Is she a superwoman? What is that on her shirt?
What did I do?
I don't know.
Maybe you did
probably
it.
didn't do anything. I probably did it. Just blame me. It's fine. I'm used to it by now. I probably did something wrong.
All right. Does it sound okay?
Oh, it sounds great. I just want to know if she's a superhero or not.
I don't know. That's a big
Well, we're
judge.
gonna find out. Yeah.
Good night's rest, and that you're able to do some work now. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you've been selected as sworn as the jury to try the case of State of Florida versus Stacey Kananen. This is a criminal case. Ms. Kananen is charged with the crime of first-degree murder. The definition of the elements of this crime will be explained to you later. It's your solemn responsibility to determine if the state has proved its accusation beyond a reasonable doubt against Ms. Kananen. Your verdict must be based solely on the evidence, a lack of evidence, and the law. The indictment that I read to you yesterday is not evidence. It is not to be considered by you as any proof of guilt. It's the judge's responsibility to decide which laws apply to this case and to explain those laws to you. It's your responsibility to decide what the facts of this case may be and to apply the law to those facts. Thus, the province of the jury and province of the court are well defined and they do not overlap. This is one of the fundamental principles of our system of justice. Before proceeding further, it'd be helpful if you understand how a criminal trial is conducted. At the beginning of the trial, the attorneys will have an opportunity, if they wish, to make an opening statement. The opening statements give the attorneys a chance to tell you what evidence they believe will be presented during the trial. What the lawyers say is not evidence, and you should not consider it as such. Following the opening statements, witnesses will be called to testify under oath. They'll be examined and cross-examined by the attorneys. Documents and other exhibits also may be produced as evidence. It is up to you to decide what evidence is reliable. You should use your common sense in deciding which is the best evidence and which evidence should not be relied upon in considering your verdict. You may find some of the evidence not reliable or less reliable than other evidence. You should consider how the witnesses acted as well as what they said. Some of the things you should consider are, did the witness seem to have an opportunity to see and know the things about which the witness testified? Did the witness seem to have an accurate memory? Was the witness honest and straightforward in answering the attorney's questions? Did the witness have some interest in how the case should be decided? Does the witness's testimony agree with the other testimony and other evidence in the case? After the evidence has been presented, the attorneys will then have an opportunity to make their final argument. Following the argument by the attorneys, the court will instruct you on the law applicable to this case. After the instructions are given, the alternate jurors will be released and you will then retire to consider your verdict. You should not form any definite or fixed opinion on the merits of this case until you've heard all the evidence, the argument of the lawyers, and the instructions on the law by the judge. Until that time, you should not discuss this case among yourselves. During the course of the trial, the court may take recesses during which you'll be permitted to separate and go about your personal affairs. During these recesses, you will not discuss the case with anyone, nor permit anyone to say anything to you or in your presence about this case. If anyone attempts to say anything to you or in your presence about this case, tell that person you're on the jury trying the case and ask them to stop immediately. If the person persists, leave them at once and immediately report the matter to the court deputy who will advise me. The case must be tried by you only on the evidence presented during the trial, in your presence and in the presence of the defendant, the attorneys, and the judge. Jurors must not conduct any investigation of their own. Accordingly, you must not visit any places described in the evidence, and you must not read or listen to any reports about this case. Further, you must not discuss this case with any person, and you must not speak with the attorneys, the witnesses, or the defendant about any subject until your deliberations are finished. As I told you yesterday, the attorneys are under a court order not to speak to you until this case is over. So if you see them in the hall or in the elevators, please understand they're not going to talk to you. They don't want to give an appearance of an impropriety. In every criminal proceeding, a defendant has the absolute right to remain silent. At no time is it the duty of a defendant to prove his innocence. From the exercise of a defendant's right to remain silent, a jury is not permitted to draw any inference of guilt, and the fact that a defendant does not take the witness stand must not influence your verdict in any manner whatsoever. The attorneys are trained in the rules of evidence and trial procedure. It is their duty to make all objections they feel are proper. When an objection is made, you should not speculate on the reason why it's made. Likewise, when an objection is sustained or upheld by me, you must not speculate on what might have occurred had the objection not been sustained, or what a witness might have said had that witness been permitted to answer. Now, if you'd like to take notes during the trial, you may do so. On the other hand, of course, you're not required to take notes if you don't want to. That will be left up to you individually. You will be provided with a notepad and pen for your personal use if you wish to take notes. Now, all of you should have a notepad. All of you have one? Okay. Look on the back of those pads. They should all have a number on the back. You want to be sure that throughout this entire trial, you keep that numbered pad. Because if you don't, you're going to be writing on somebody else's notes, and we don't want that. So make sure that every time you get your pad back, it's your pad. Now, any notes that you take.
Just FYI, if I ever come on stream and I look like her, just know that I want a divorce because that's what my
AJ,
husband
if you
said
ever
would
come
happen.
if you ever come on stream looking like her, I will remove you from the stream immediately. and privately message you yelling, "Go fix yourself."
Well, I can't. I'm not a Play-Doh head. I couldn't grow it
No,
back
but
up.
you can. No, but you could get a wig, a hat. Put a hat on.
I
A
do
hat.
have I have that blonde wig.
You have the dollar Barbie wig, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Use
that will just signal to y'all I'm about to be single.
Yeah,
So
don't
Frank,
ever do that.
if you ever see that, Frank, there's it's about to go down.
If you ever see that, run for the hills.
It apparently means you just need to cut off more hair. And yes, let's go. Baker threatened me if I didn't give Val a wrench that he would break my legs. I tried to type that, but YouTube said no.
Well, I mean,
Understandable.
really, that
one.
would never really happen because I wouldn't allow that. But,
I know.
you know.
I figured YouTube would let that one through because it wasn't, you know, it wasn't
You
nice.
never know. You can tell YouTube to F off and it'll come through, but you know, you say one thing about cabbage and it's like, absolutely not.
Means it's almost poll time.
Get on the pole, you.
I thought she looked a little like Carmen. No.
That is horrible. I'm gonna tell you said that. That's damning. She doesn't look anything like Carmen.
I'm calling this like if AJ appears with that hair.
Cabbage Patch Beaver. It's like a Cabbage Patch shoe. But an older version. I'm telling you, my mother-in-law has that same haircut. She looks just like her. It's kind of scary.
Well, it was creepy the way she smiled a second ago. Like, don't.
Was it a smile or?
I don't know because I don't know what that look on her face is right now. But
that looks like she's KGB or something.
Yeah. I don't know.
We will ask the questions. AGP, we will ask the questions.
All right, here we go. No,
All
that's not a bat. I think it's what are those? What's that called? An applique? You
An apple cake? What?
No, an applique or some apple. I don't know. You clothes people will know.
Sister?
That's better. That's
Kind of
better.
does look like her, though. It looks just like her.
She's Putin's right hand cabbage beaver. Thank you, Haley. I'm probably not saying it right.
Applique? Applique?
She looks. Wow, we are very judgy today.
Oh,
All
you
of
know
us.
what? It's Judgy Wednesday. Just get with
It's
the
okay.
times.
Driving and lurking. Are you lurking around the Greencastle exit? I'll be there in a minute.
No, he's trying to deliver milk. Just not to your neighborhood.
I know. I know you do, Haley. I've missed you so much.
Oh my god, look at how cute Haley is, guys.
She is
Aw.
cute. Looks like a t-shirt with an odd design on it. An applique.
An
Okay.
application?
No, I'm hitting play.
Like a job application?
No. Haley knows. I doubt it. I doubt it. Yeah. Not, please, not in this one. Applique? Applique. I don't know. Let's talk about the big stinky beaver behind. Do we have to? I don't want to. Gabby said she was clean.
Will be for your personal use. However, you should not take them with you from the courtroom. That means when you leave the courtroom, every time you leave this courtroom, whether it's for a recess or lunch or for our break overnight, you need to leave your pad on your chair. At the end of the trial, when you go back to deliberate, you will be allowed to take your notepads with you. But that's the only time you'll be allowed to take them back into the jury room. Okay? During recesses, the court deputy is going to take possession of your notes and will return them to you when we reconvene. After you've completed your deliberations, the court deputy will deliver your notes to me. They'll be destroyed and no one will ever read your notes. If you do take notes, do not get so involved in note-taking that you become distracted from the proceedings. Your notes should be used only as aids to your memory. Whether or not you take notes, you should rely on your memory of the evidence and should not be unduly influenced by the notes of other jurors. Notes are not entitled to any greater weight than each juror's memory of the evidence. Now, as jurors, you should not discuss this case with others, including other jurors, except as otherwise authorized by this court. And the only time you're going to really be authorized to discuss this case is when you're back deliberating. You should not listen to any news reports about this case. You should not use a computer, cell phone, or other electronic device with communication capabilities while in attendance at this trial or during deliberations.
I can
These
see it.
devices may be used during breaks or recesses, but may not be used to obtain or disclose information about this case. You should not use a computer, cell phone, or other electronic device with communication capabilities or any other method to obtain or disclose information about this case, including information about a party, a witness, attorneys, or court officers, news accounts of the case, information collected through research on any topics raised or testimony offered by any witness, information collected through research on any other topic that would be helpful in deciding the case. Furthermore, as members of this jury, you should not access Twitter, MySpace, or Facebook for any matter involved in this case. All right, State, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you may proceed.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, September 10th, 2003, Marilyn Kananen, a mother of 3 children, a grandmother of 3, left her work at the Delta Connection Academy, drove home to never be seen again. Judy Lynch, one of her coworkers, the next morning when Marilyn doesn't show up, is very concerned because Marilyn was one of those workers you could always rely on. She was always there. Judy knew that she had plans to travel that weekend. That was one of the perks they had working there. But they had plans to work on some things that day. And she knew she could always rely on Marilyn to be there. Tried to call our house. Very concerned. And then calls Marilyn's oldest daughter, Cheryl, who she's met before, and leaves a message. Not a really detailed message. Doesn't want to really upset Cheryl. Cheryl's married, has 3 children, the grandchildren. But just says, you need to call about your mother. Cheryl, who works as a nurse, comes home, gets this message from Judy, calls her, and decides to go over to her mother's house. Well, she'll hear Cheryl bracket as the oldest. And then Cheryl's the one who would normally have the family get-togethers at her house. She's the one who had the children, and she's the one who, if her mother would change the locks, would give her a key. Went over to her mom's house, and she doesn't see her mom's white Toyota. She can't get in the door, and she can't imagine why, because Cheryl's always had a lock. And there were some tensions in the family, and you'll hear that Marilyn had a sister, Jerry, and every time Jerry visited, they changed locks. But Jerry hadn't visited lately. And you'll hear that Cheryl called her brother and sister. Well, here Marilyn lived over in East Orlando off Alachua. And someone around the corner on Okaloosa lived her other daughter, Stacey. Stacey's lover and partner in life, Susan Cowan, and her son, Richard Kananen, lived there. And they lived a short distance away. And Cheryl reached out to her brother and sister. I'm concerned about Mom. Why isn't Mom home? Have you seen Mom? What do you know? Cheryl had to go to school for her son. Came home after the open house, started to make phone calls again. Her mother didn't know anything, and so she decides to go over there, and her husband, Chris, isn't going to go with her. They all go over to the house, and finally when she gets there, Richard and Stacey are already there. They're in the house. And Richard's, oh, Mom had me change the lock. And even then, Cheryl thinks, oh, God. Because Mom would always give her the key. You'll hear Cheryl was so concerned that she called the Orange County Sheriff's Office because she knew her mom would not leave town without talking to her. And then her mom had plans to leave later on this weekend, but not then. And then her mother's just not the type of person who just doesn't show up for work. And as she's there, she sees piles of paperwork, financial paperwork, that her brother makes some reference to. Orange County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Patrick comes out, takes a report, and Cheryl seems to be the only one who can talk to him and give him information about what's going on. And then came up their father. You'll hear that the Kananens grew up in a chaotic, very abusive household. You'll hear that Richard Kananen, Sr., beat his children, sexually abused his children. And when we say beat his children, to the point that Richard, the oldest, because Richard's about 10 years older than his sister, there's years apart between Cheryl and Stacey. When I had a dinner table, Richard didn't pass the salt or asked to pass the salt, that was being unconscious. That Richard would do putting chains and making work outside. That Richard Kananen Sr. took a shotgun and put it off, shot it right at Richard's ear, and to this day, he can't hear out of that ear. That he was sexually abused by his father. That Cheryl, what memories she has, knows that her father would come in her bedroom at night that Cheryl was beaten so bad, we tried to show it to her mother one time, and her mother would ignore it. Stacey was also sexually abused, and when you talk to them, you'll find that they all think at least one of them was spared. But they weren't. And that this lifestyle went on until the late 80s. Cheryl was out of the house and getting married, and once you moved out of the Kananen house, you would not come back unless you were invited by her. Cheryl was going to get married, and there was such a problem with the father that it was going to be done in secret. And he was not to know his daughter was getting married. And she would meet her mom and Stacey on the side. And then there came a point that dad was just gone. So that night, as they met with the sheriff's office, a lot of theories came up. And Richard threw out perhaps the nightmares back. Stacey didn't do a whole lot of talking, and it's Cheryl who was trying to provide information and say, there are things missing from my mom's house that make no sense. Pictures in the paper. And there were clothes missing, but the interesting thing is it was the work clothes. I mean, because Cheryl and her mother were close to the same size, Cheryl would exchange clothes with her, and it was Cheryl who knew that there was one closet that was all work clothes, and one closet that was leisure. And the leisure clothes, the clothes her mother would take on a trip, were still hanging there in the closet. You'll hear Cheryl Bracken really wasn't sure what to think that night. I just kept thinking my mom will show up. She knew her brother and sister really didn't seem to have great. Then Richard was busy talking about his father, that he wasn't saying much. And Cheryl and Chris Jr. and Chris Sr. were just distraught and concerned. Where could Marilyn be and why hadn't she called them? As the days went on, that was the 11th. As the days of September went on, Cheryl would call Orange County Sheriff's Office almost every day. A missing person detective had been assigned Susan Leonard. She hired a private investigator. And she continued to do what she could to look for her mother. That missing person flyers were made. You'll hear that even Stacey made one. But interesting enough, the one that Stacey made is her mother's name's not even on there. There's a picture. At night, Richard and Stacey said, we'll go check the airport. See if Mom's car is there. By the time that Cheryl got home, and she only lived maybe 2 miles away, she talked to her sister Stacey, and Stacey said, oh, we looked everywhere, we looked on every floor of the garage, and Mom wasn't there. And even then Cheryl thought, well, that's strange. She couldn't have gotten to the airport. Richard and her could not have driven to the airport in the time it took me to get home. Couldn't have done that. And her mom left. And as the months start to tick off, September, October, Cheryl continues to do her search for her mother. You'll hear from the neighbors, Betty Kelly, Stephen Rosinski, that while Cheryl is busy calling Orange County Sheriff's Office to find out what's going on, and if there's any leads on her mother, that Richard and Stacey are visiting Mom's house all the time. Betty Kelly, who owns a local bar around there, would be home during the day and would see Stacey walking down the street, going into her mother's house and spending hours there. Richard was seen moving black trash bags, moving some out to the curb summoned to his van, and he had an old beat-up van that he used. He was an electrician. And then there was Cheryl, who was not going into her mom's home and removing items, but would stop by and then ask her mother and sister, where is this stuff? But Cheryl's concern was keeping the house the way it was and getting her mother home. Because her mother never showed up the whole month of September. She even asked a friend to cancel the Sentinel subscription. So we'll be sitting out there on the roadway, on the driveway, people come in and think no one's there and break in. And all of September when Carolyn Kananen did not come home. As you went into the days of October, as the days of October went by, the 1st through the 10th, the 20th through the 31st, Marilyn Kananen did not come home, and Marilyn Kananen was not heard of. And as the sheriff's office was continuing this investigation, it got passed off to a homicide detective. And you'll hear that the last time her ECAP account was used was September 10th, 2003, on her way home. You'll hear there were no signs of the light sweater that she wrote. You'll hear the Detective Hussey who took this over started to talk to her bank account. And interesting things developed. There's the McCoy Credit Union, where Richard Kananen Sr.'s Social Security checks were deposited, and he froze that account. But although Richard Kananen Sr. hadn't been seen, they gave Mrs. Kananen continue to receive the Social Security checks. But there was a Sun Trust account because Marilyn Kananen, in the last years of her father's life, had taken him into her home and had taken care of him. And then Lawrence Reagan, her father, had a considerable amount of money in the Sun Trust account with both their names on it. And although Marilyn Kananen had not reached out to talk to her daughter, Cheryl, had not reached out to call to see how her beloved grandchildren were doing, there was money being moved from her Sun Trust accounts. Tamara Hussey talked to Sun Trust, and a hold was put on that account she had at Sun Trust. Going into early November, as Mark Hussey was investigating it, even on a day off, ride his motorcycle over through the neighborhood, and you'll find that there was a garage sale going on at Stacey and Susan's house. And they were selling Disney collectibles. And of interesting note was all the Disney collectibles that Marilyn Kananen loved so much. And you'll find she loved Disney. But she loved all the little characters. Those collectibles were out of her house. You always have signs of forced entry in that house, no signs of break-in, no signs of introduction. And Disney collectibles were on sale with Stacey and Susan's garage sale. And then we come into early December 2003. The Sun Trust received a call from someone identifying himself as Marilyn Kananen to find out why his account was frozen. And because there's a flag on the account, it goes from the call center to a person who works in security today. She calls our county sheriff's office. And as we've gone through September, October, November, Cheryl Bracken continues to be the worried daughter. The one who's calling Mark Hussey who takes over the case all of the time. What information do you have? What have you found? And she also starts to express her concerns over her brother Richard and her sister Stacey. because after her mom was reported missing, a couple days later, Cheryl and her family just decided to stop by where Stacey and Richard lived. Richard's talking to Christopher Sr. at the door, sort of forbidding him from even coming in the house. And Chris Jr. goes in there and he's a young child, about 12, needs to use the bathroom. And his aunt's telling him he can't go in there. And they don't understand why. And then there's a comment about the dog, and what you'll hear is that Chris Jr. was very, very close to Uncle Richard and his Aunt Stacey. And that during the summer, when both the parents were working, he would spend a lot of time with Richard and Stacey. They would come over and pick him up. And he was playing with their dogs, and so when he brought up their dogs, it just didn't make sense to Cheryl because Junior played with their dogs. But when they find out it's the bathroom that Stacey told him not to use, had a window that looked out into the pool area and the backyard of Stacey and Richard. The days keep ticking on, and Detective Hussey keeps investigating. There's something going on with Marilyn Kananen's banking. During September, October, November, December, she's never once picked up the phone to call her daughter Cheryl, to call her beloved grandchildren. And then December 22nd, 2003, Detective Hussey has called Stacey and Richard. You know, we're investigating your mom's parents. His parents would like you to come on down. We need to talk to you. They agree to come down, and they come down in Stacey's new truck. And during these months, we got to November and December, the year that Richard had gone out and had bought a brand new Dodge truck, 20,000. And Stacey got a brand new truck. And then Susan Cameron came on the truck. But Richard had an electrical business and a lawn service he was opening up with his sister. But that his work was correct. They come down to the sheriff's office, and the sheriff's separate them up, talk to each other, talk to them for a period of time. And then they're allowed draft they go on in a few minutes, and they're put into a room, and unbeknownst to them, they're being videotaped. There were some pointed questions about the money, and asking Stacey, who worked out at Disney, how did you afford to buy this new truck? But why did you get a check in the amount of $2,500 from your mother, who's been missing, was reported missing September 11, 2003, marked Christmas Day? So here the Sun Trust can tell you there was a lot of online activity going on. And as they're put together, you will hear Richard and Stacey talking in the form of a videotape. You will hear them say, all over. And you'll hear Stacey say, they know I called the bank. You'll hear Stacey say, are they going to come take my truck? And you'll hear Richard say, it's the gas chambers for me. And then there's a discussion of what are they going to do. And Richard has talked to her. Because even as Richard said what's going to happen to him, Stacey said she's going to jail. As they leave the sheriff's office, what they don't know is there's something leaving with them. It's a tracking device on Stacey's truck. You'll hear Stacey, the youngest of the three, driving away. There's a stop at Walmart. Because there's a discussion that you're going to hear in the sheriff's office that Stacey can't take the vote. She wished she could. Stop at Walmart, purchase some things. Night call, the pills, NyQuil, the liquid. What you'll hear is that Richard had several storage units. The detective could talk to him about a storage unit he had in Bowling Rock, because Detective Hussey, as he's investigating this case, just went around that area, talking to different places, and they found out he had a storage facility at Bowling Rock Storage. That they brought to a different storage unit, one that the sheriff's office hadn't asked them about. Stacey's driving, she pulls in her truck with the rudder beside her. Now Richard gets out and attaches a hose to the exhaust. And brings that hose into the truck itself. Stacey takes NyQuil. Richard takes the pills and NyQuil. And both of them start writing notes. To their loved ones. The storage unit door was closed. And as they were being tracked, unfortunately, they were lost at one point. And they write their notes, you'll find that Stacey wrote to Carol, his sister. Now, Richard first wrote on the page to his sister, and then Stacey wrote underneath it. And Stacey told her Mom was going to take her kids to Grand Cluster and told her she was sorry. But Stacey wrote to her lover Susan and said, we had something to do with Mom's leaving. And after they wrote these, Richard Kananen is going to tell you that they believe it was all over. The truck motor was flooding. The carbon monoxide was flooding the truck. They had written their letters. And in fact, Richard told them where Marilyn was. Marilyn was found buried in the defendant's backyard, back by a shed, fairly deep, underneath the ground. You'll hear that Susan Kananen went on a cruise. Stacey's mother went on a cruise with her mother right after Marilyn Kananen was reported missing. And you'll hear from Richard that Stacey waited until he got a call that Susan was on the ship with her mother before they went to security unit where his mother's car was. Drove that car back to the house he shared with his sister, put her in the garage, took her out, and buried her deep into the ground. And Richard was a big guy, probably close to 400 pounds, over 300. And Stacey's always been fairly thin, but Stacey, his sister, helped him bury their mother.
All right, so this usually makes it worse, but I'll try this and see if it helps. Because I can't, she will not go back to the microphone. Like, she's freaking allergy to him. I can hear the printer and the stapler better than I can hear her. It's driving me crazy.
It's here that our county sheriff's office broke down to the word disorder. That they came and rescued Stacey and Richard from certain death. And Stacey being much smaller than Richard, The extra carbon monoxide were probably there more. But they were transported to the hospital, and once they went to the hospital, you hear that Richard talks to law enforcement.
Not the stapler.
That probably just all made it worse. She's just pissing me off now. I hope
Stole my
the
stapler.
defense attorney gets up there and like yells every freaking word, because this one made me
I feel
mad.
like she looks like I saw her on General Hospital one time in her Asian robe that she's wearing. She was like at like an extra in like a, massage parlor or something.
I just, if she says, "Can I pet that dog?" No. No.
No. Can I pet
You-
that dog?
No.
No. No, you can't. Not in that thing.
Because you didn't stay by the microphone.
Oh, let's go. Let it go.
She said it's clean.
Gabby's beaver is full of mud again and no audio. Well,
I don't know.
no mud baths over here.
Hey, I think
But-
mud baths are good for you.
Well, not in the beaver. Get an infection. Get an infection.
True. Not
She
in the
does look
beaver.
like she has the side hustle. Yes, that's what I mean. Side hustle, General Hospital extra. She's been there. I've seen her before.
What's up, Robin? I have no idea. I know nothing about this case. This woman, not this woman's, but the defendant's face, it stares at me when I'm like every time when I have to go
It's
to
like one
Rochelle's.
of those pictures that like follows you through the house.
Yes, I have to scroll down by her, and her face would just be there all the time. I'm like, "Stop looking at me, lady. I'm not doing your trial." And then yesterday she's like, "Come do my trial." I was like, "Okay, I will."
And
Yeah.
here we are, people.
I didn't know that it was going to suck, because when I just was like trying to listen to a little bit of the audio, I'm like, "That's good." And then it's like this.
Gabby's built Bostonian dams. Just asking the
Just ask the
turkey.
turkeys.
Just ask the turkeys.
Gabby's
Well-
beaver built Boston dams. Just ask the turkey.
Listen, the turkeys are savage over here. She looks like a lady who,
Who the Thai chick's doing her pedicure make fun of.
yes. The Thai chicks are just like speaking Spanish, like, hello, el gringo.
Not Spanish.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're speaking Spanish. She still doesn't understand.
Oh, I was gonna say. Ooh. Michael Voorhees' mom. Wow.
Dang.
Ronnie with the
That's
logo.
dark. That's real dark. Stares into your soul, Bad Dazzler says.
Well, she has to be almost done, because the whole opening statements from both sides are only an hour.
Oh, let's go. Oh, let's go.
Oh, let's go. All right, back to Charlie Brown's teacher. And hopefully she's almost done. Like her little, the way I paused her and her little, like, I'm annoyed. Yeah, me too, lady. Most
Her little
judges,
smirk.
some judges will be like, "Can you get back to, like, stay by the microphone?"
Yeah. Not chalk line chin strap
No,
judge.
he's up there eating.
He went to the wrong barber shop to get that chalk line, let me tell you. He went to the white man folk barber shop to get that, because there's no way in heck that the black barber shop would have done that to him. I'll tell you that much. That's just a
Oh.
fact.
Okay. I will take your word for it. Now back to whatever this is, other than my apologies.
General Hospital, episode 2500.
She'll be gone soon, but she'll come back to life in some weird way as a different character.
Gone with the Wind. Asian Robe Style.
Mr. Kananen, Richard Jr., was charged with killing his mother. And what you hear about his family during this time, prior to Marilyn Kananen going missing, Cheryl, who was grown up in a very violent, abusive home, because not only were the children abused, but Marilyn Kananen also suffered the wrath of Richard Sr. In fact, you'll hear from Stephen Rosinsky, one of the neighbors, to tell you not only what he saw when Marilyn went missing, but that he lived there back in 1988. And that everyone knew that things happened in the house. Cheryl and her young son Christopher were having some problems. Perhaps some verbal abuse, grabbed the arm occasionally. And Cheryl and young Christopher would talk to his confidants, his best friends, as he put it. Uncle Richard and Aunt Stacey. That during the summer of 2003, leading up to when Marilyn went missing, that he was helping build a memorial garden for his great-grandfather at his grandmother's home with Uncle Richard and Aunt Stacey, and he would tell them about the problems he had with his mother. And what you'll hear is that Christina also was concerned about the relationship between Chris and Cheryl as wife, and that he didn't want it to go outside of the home. He wanted the church and the family to address this issue. And in fact, he confided in Marilyn, talked to her about what was going on. And his brother-in-law Richard and his sister-in-law Stacey would approach him at family gatherings at his home to talk about what was going on with Chris and Cheryl. What you'll hear from Richard is he didn't like what was going on between his sister and his nephew, but he sure as heck did not think his mother, who let him be physically abused for years, was the person to raise her children. He did not want his nephew, nor did Stacey, and their nephew to be raised by Marilyn. Richard Sanders was formally charged with the murder of his mother. Came forward. And as the process went, you'll hear that Richard was severely depressed. So when he talked to law enforcement, he did not tell them fully what happened on the evening of September 10th, 2003. Because what you'll hear is over the years that Richard was the big protected brother. And in this chaotic household, and where they moved from state to state to state, that there were times that the family home was burnt down. And Richard's parents would be outside safely. And it's Richard who climbed the ladder to carry his two young sisters to safety, including Stacey. And now Richard felt he should protect Stacey. Now, while he was in jail, he was on 100 strikes and lost 120 pounds. And although he certainly was depressed, that he exaggerated what was going on with him, because he knew he was facing very serious charges. And as the court sent him, he was examined, and the court sent him bad issues, the state mental health classes. And while they were living in for a beginning, And he thought it'd be a better place than jail. And his Richard got there, he determined, maybe not. So he was looked at, and they found he was competent, and he came back, started to prepare the case for trial. And while he was in jail, although the family clearly was upset, and Cheryl was clearly devastated, and young Christopher was clearly devastated, it was the time when Junior wanted to go out and see his uncle. Some of it is understanding why his confidant, his best friend, could kill his grandmother. And then it came to 2007, Richard Kananen Cheryl and Christopher went out to see Cheryl told me to tell the truth. And on the morning of his trial, he came in and entered a plea agreement. And he was sentenced to 30 years in prison. And what you hear is that Richard was in his early 50s. And basically, that was a life sentence. But he didn't want to put Cheryl and Christopher's case. Because there was no way to talk about the case without talking about the family secret. Without people getting on the stand to talk about the horrendous physical abuse and sexual abuse going on children. Talk about the domestic violence they observed with their mother. Or of course, we're going to have to talk about his relationship with their parents. Shortly after, Richard Kananen and the claim, detective custody was taken. Because what here is during the investigation in this case, that Richard was charged. Detective custody had told Stacey there is no statute of limitations for murder. And when it comes to the house issue, you were the one who is rather benefiting from your mother's bank account. You hear that the community had statements about her going in and out of the house. That in fact, in early December, they had decided to remodel the garage of their mother, who was supposedly just innocent. They hired people to come in and put the stonework on the garage. So the detective custody went spoke to Richard. And you'll hear that when Richard Kananen agreed to enter for 30 years, there was no deal for him to testify. He wasn't offered anything in return. And when the detective custody and his partner at the time, Gerald Haskell, showed up, he looked over his lawyer and said, "Keep going on." And sat there and told him how his sister Stacey and him were concerned that their mother would take all the money that she was getting from her father, the deceased. I was going to take that money and use that money to take away his nephew from his sister Cheryl. That there were some years of bitterness over their childhood. That they were angry that the mother was supposed to love and protect them, didn't. That he moved in around April of 2003 with his sister, and even around then they started talking about their mom. And they planned, and his sister Stacey said, "I want to do this some way, generally fine." Somehow plan a clean, really. And what they did is, you'll hear that Richard would work sporadically in these businesses, but Stacey still worked the business, so he would go out to purchase the table. His mom always kept that thing in the house, and he had. And on September 10th of 2003, while Susan was off in Tampa, her mom getting ready for this cruise, they went to dinner, they went to the movies, and then they went to dinner at the Goldens. And even as they sat there through dinner, he knew that his sister had a taser stuffed in her back. And as they got into the house, he's sitting at the table and Stacey's talking to her mother, and all of a sudden Stacey's calling out for help. That the defendant tasered her mother. And Richard got up with a bandana and held it tightly over his mother. And held it there over her mouth and nose until she was no longer moving. But they worked together to taser and suffocate their own mother. Ladies and gentlemen, as you go through this case, you will hear from the different family members about what happened. Not only they grew up, but what happened back in 2003. And you'll hear from Richard. Serving a 30-year sentence. You will not get anything. Except today, his sister Cheryl and his nephew Chris. So close. Ladies and gentlemen, the state fair conference will find that Richard and Stacey worked together to show their mother. As written in the notes that Stacey wrote, and suicide to Susan, and the note she wrote to Cheryl, with Susan saying we had something to do with mother's bleeding, and Cheryl, she's going to take her kids. So here, hanging out and ask her to tell you the Stacey who wrote this. It's quite confident that you will find. Stacey Kananen, back in September of 2003, for several different reasons, decided that her mother's life should end. Stacey quite confident that you will find that Stacey Kananen used a taser on her own mother and suffocated her. And when you hear from Dr. Hurricane,
Yo, that was ridiculous.
and you hear the Maryland hands dug up, there's one thing.
Let's use the taser.
Are you kidding me?
And the only cause of death is fire. There's no other injury.
Oh, she takes three fingers? She takes three fingers?
Yeah, I don't know what she's doing.
Bad dads are kinky.
Good morning, everybody. Again, my name is Diana Tennis. This is my client, Stacey Kananen, and this is Tony Maloney.
Tony Baloney? Tony, did she just say this is my associate, Tony Baloney? What? Get out of here. That's not her real name, is it? Tony Baloney.
I mean, it would fit after what we just didn't hear. Oh my gosh, that was awful.
I can't figure this out. Exactly, Frank. Neither can I. Good Lord. Tony
please,
Baloney.
ladies.
What's that lady back there? Does she have like a shower cap on? What's going on with her hair?
Which one?
The one in the white shirt.
Oh,
That's
sunglasses.
behind. No, the white long sleeve shirt behind the defendant. Why does it look like she has a shower cap on?
Oh, well, that's her sunglasses, and then there's a gray-haired lady like right behind her.
Oh my God, I thought she was wearing a shower cap. This whole time I was like, why is she wearing a fucking shower cap?
No,
Like,
that's
what is happening?
That's what they wear today. They all wear.
Well, you know what? I hope Tony Baloney pulls out the salami at some point because this woman has no cheese. Okay, she's got no cheese.
Oh my gosh! I hope this woman just stays by the freaking microphone. Because
Doubt it.
That was horrible.
And she's like, let me just go to the mic real quick and say, kimono, 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 and then walk away again. After I said everything that everyone wanted to hear. But, you know.
And I come back, I'm like, taser.
Yeah. Tase, tase.
Then bye now. Okay.
8 seconds. 8 seconds in the closet.
Oh, if I
Kimono.
would put that stun belt on her every time she walked away from the microphone.
Same. Girl, same.
She'd be getting
Get
it.
lapel mics for these people. Come on, courtrooms. Get it
Well,
together.
I hate the other thing that they say in the courtrooms like today, that microphone is not there to amplify your voice. Like, then don't have it there.
Yeah. That's what I mean. If they're going to walk away from it, why even have it? It's pointless.
Yeah.
And yes, Heidel, she is a stunad. I just can't with this.
Oh,
Tony Baloney, if
even if
Fat
she's
Tony, if Fat Tony shows up in this courtroom, I'm about to lose it. I'm going to lose it.
even if it's Tony Maloney, like
Tony Maloney baloney. It's just Bologna. You know what I mean?
I was not expecting to roll out of that mouth. Oh, that was hilarious.
She
Yes,
legit sounded like she said Tony Baloney, though.
it did. They need a clerk to follow them around with those really long handled thick mics, or just like one of those what are they, boom mics that they use on TV shows that
No,
just are
no.
above you.
What they need to go back even further in time and legit just have someone on the side outside the camera view, but with a long hook and grab them back to the mic. You just see a hook, a random large hook go into the view and it just drags them back to the microphone.
You read chat, Gabriella.
So I don't know who Gabriella is, but that ain't me. Gotta get my name spelled right before you want me to read that. Just saying.
Well, I'll let you read that when you tell me when you're ready.
Oh,
It
the
didn't
one
come over.
yeah, I see it.
It didn't come over in StreamYard.
That hole in middle of Gabby's dam, a trap. It deliver you emotional damage for the rest of your life when it snatches you up. Let's go.
You're about to fight. She's putting on her Timbs. Crocs in hand.
You know what? I'm gonna let it go. But what I will not let go is you spelled my name wrong there. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's nope. Don't do that. All right, let's
Shame. Let's
Yeah.
go baloney.
All right. High hopes for this defense attorney. Please project your voice over the printer and stapler.
All right, ham sandwich. Let's do this.
All right.
As you would probably expect, I disagree with a lot of what I believe the evidence is going to be in this case. But even more than where I think the evidence is going to fall out differently, I want you to pay attention to what evidence existed and when. Because pretty much all of what the prosecutor told you in the way of what she believes is going to be evidence that's going to point toward Stacey existed and was known by law enforcement in the state of Florida on December 22 of 2003. All of it. And on December 22 of 2003, Richard Kananen went from the hospital where he'd been to for a couple of hours to jail, charged by way of a probable cause affidavit for an arrest warrant by Detective Hussey with first-degree murder. Stacey was in the hospital for a few days, and when she got out of the hospital, she didn't go to jail. She wasn't charged. She went home. She went home
Yo,
to
I'm
Florida, here in
unalive.
Orlando, that
I'm
house
unalive.
where she had discovered
I was legit just typing. That's hilarious to me that she. This is going to go down in history. My assistant, Tony Baloney. Then she said the next thing. I was like, WTF. Detective Hussey? This is going to be fun.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Oh man. I
What a hussy.
see. Dang it. She looks like if my nephew's ex-wife was blonde, and had curly hair, that's what she'd look
I
like.
wonder if Detective Hussey did it all for the baloney.
Please let Detective Hussey be a woman.
Oh. I hope she is.
Like, it has to be. Oh, they are awesome.
Oh, next level. This is what baloney, hussy.
I just had to Google bologna because I didn't actually know what kind of meat it was. I figured it was
It's
some
a
kind of
hot
pork. It's a
it's a
mystery
flat
meat.
it's a flat hot dog, basically. Lunch meat hot dog.
Oh, my sisters had a head teacher called Hussy. Okay.
Well, my cousins would go out with short shorts on. I said, "You're not leaving this house looking like a hussy." That's how I would use that term. But
Yes.
hey,
Hopefully she isn't overly sensitive about weird hairy name. Detective Hussey wasn't fussy for some. Oh, hilarious. That's what I was thinking, Frank. I just wasn't going to say it.
a head teacher. That figures.
Oh
This is
my.
just. This is my dream right here.
Oh, this is
All
this
of these
great.
things happened in line. Like, how does it? Come on.
And she at least moved the podium over so the mic is closer to her instead of just leaving it there and walking away.
Mm,
So we can still kind of hear her.
it was a man.
Of course it was. He does have a funny name too.
What's the
Everybody,
judge's name?
like Lubit,
Lubit?
L-U-B.
Get out of here. This
You-
trial is a wet dream. This trial is a
mean,
wet dream.
It might be like Lube, but it's spelled
No.
L-U-B-E-T.
Well, Ash can attest. Is that how you say lube in French? Lube? She'll tell us.
Can you imagine if the lead detective was Hussey in the last trial? We would have never moved past that.
Absolutely not. Ash is just.
Also just laughing.
She didn't even say if it was true or not. So it's still undetermined.
Oh, I don't know that word in French either. I just was guessing it might.
I'm just going to go ahead and say Judge Lube means lube in French. That's what Carmen would do.
Of course she would.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going with Carmen here. Can't wait to tell her all about the assistant, Tony Baloney,
Lubit, Latin word meaning if it pleases or please.
So I'm going to go ahead and say that that's what it means. He's Judge Lube.
All right, I'm hitting play now.
All right.
Trying.
the brother who buried her mother. She made plans to leave there ASAP. She moved with Susan over to Hudson, Pasco County, some property that Susan had in the family. And she's lived there ever since. She doesn't flee. She doesn't try again to get that suicide attempt down pat. She goes about her business. Well, there is one other thing. She becomes a witness for the state of Florida against her brother. She's listed as a witness that the prosecution, this prosecution, is going to put on the stand, swear under oath, and tell everybody about what little she knows about her brother having killed their mother. She goes to a deposition because the defense, her brother's lawyer, has a chance to talk to her, and she answers questions in that deposition of both the defense lawyer and the prosecutor who's there asks her some questions. Ultimately, at the end of and we'll talk a little bit about Richard's road to trial, but at the end of that road, she meets with the prosecution in person to discuss her testimony and what it will be at the trial. The only thing that changed between them only having a case against Richard in December of 2003 and Stacey being arrested for murder in May of 2007 is that her brother decided to read his fifth version of what had happened. I don't think the evidence is going to tell the tale of Richard being depressed and just wanting to put off his case for a while. By all accounts, Richard was horrifically abused. All of these children were horrifically abused. Marilyn Kananen was horrifically abused. I think that the evidence is going to show you that that culture of abuse is going to leave you with a number of people who don't ever act the way non-abused people are going to act in any given situation. A lot of this is not going to make sense. The state certainly doesn't have to prove motive, and it's a good thing because it really, none of it adds up. What Richard will tell you his motive was for killing his mother, frankly, doesn't really add up. It's clear that he did it, and he'll tell you he did it. Richard was separated from this family pretty much from the time he left home when he was a teenager. And because this was a culture of isolation and abuse, he was not permitted to talk to his children, his sisters or his mother, had no contact with his father. And that's where it remained for many years. Even after Dad went away in 1988, frankly, Richard was out of town and out of touch with the family for much of that time. It was not until his grandfather, who Marilyn was living with, died in the fall of 2002, that the family kind of reached out to Richard, who was doing some work on and off between here and the coast, and he reconnected with the family. And it was then for the first time that he became a part of kind of the family scene, going to the dinners at Cheryl's, hanging out with his sister Stacey, doing work for Marilyn at her home, and developing a friendship with his nephew Christopher. It was also during that time that it, for those who might have been looking for it, and obviously nobody here was, that it became clear that Richard was disturbed. He had paranoid fantasies. He would tell the story often about how he saved his sisters from the burning house and how his parents sat outside and watched it happen. He would tell stories about how he traveled the country and doing vigilante justice and protecting the children of abusers. He wrote a manuscript, a 200-page book or screenplay about a young man named Richard who killed an abusive parent and went on the road on vigilante justice. He would talk to his nephew Christopher, and keep in mind that Christopher Jr. you're going to see is a young man. The Christopher Jr. that Richard was talking to was an 11-year-old boy. And he would tell Christopher stories about how he traveled the world committing crimes and how he knew how to commit crimes without getting caught. He knew how to rob people without getting caught. He knew how to make people disappear without getting caught. He knew how to kill people and make it look like suicide. He would spin these tales for Christopher, and on occasion even tell these stories at family parties. The night of Mom's disappearance, Richard takes over. He's the one who says, I found the papers showing that she's been stealing Social Security money. I found the papers showing that she's in trouble with the IRS. Her clothes are gone, her pictures are gone. I think it, which is how he referred to his father, has come and taken her. He was very convincing. He had both of his sisters convinced. You'll see documents. Sister Cheryl believed this for many, many days. She sent documents to the investigator that she hired about where Dad might have connections, where they might be able to find him. He had law enforcement convinced. Law enforcement came back not just that first night of Mom's disappearance, but later when it was still a missing persons. And everybody was being told, you know, it really looks like Mom disappeared on her own. We can't do much to help you. It certainly was only due to Cheryl's insistence and persistence that that case got turned into a homicide investigation at all. Richard, for days after that, would continue this tale he was telling that convinced Stacey and Susan, and for some period of time, Cheryl, that he was all over it. He was meeting with the Social Security people. He was meeting with federal agents. His mom had many charges against her related to having not paid taxes on the Social Security money that she had stolen. He had appointments in his calendar for meetings. He told Stacey's girlfriend, Susan, that he was going to go change his driver's license so that it would more readily look like his father, so that he could access Mom's account to look for her, to figure out whether or not she was utilizing her debit card somewhere else, or there were money transactions somewhere, so they could try to find her. He was very good. He's a very good liar. Was he depressed after being arrested and exaggerated his symptoms? At the very least. He went on a hunger strike that was only broken when his lawyers got a court order to allow the jail to force feed him. He put his own feces on his body. He convinced some well-trained, experienced psychologists here in town that he was hallucinating and hearing the voice of his father. He was sent to the state hospital, the forensic criminal state hospital for the insane, and stayed there for a number of months.
Objection. I'm stating the evidence he's found incompetent, not insane.
Mr.
Attorney Dental Dam has spoken.
He was found incompetent and went to a hospital where those who were found mentally incompetent and...
I'm sorry, he was incompetent, not insane.
I'm sorry, but your assistant name is Tony Baloney. Are we even taking this serious at all?
I'm sorry, woman. We heard your objection, but we couldn't hear your whole opening, so we don't know if we have to go by what she's saying. Because you didn't stand by the microphone, so you lose.
Yeah, come on.
I'm a little
Judge
confused.
Lube, Tony Baloney,
Detective
other
Hussey.
person named Detective Hussey. The court reporter is obviously working for the mafia. I mean, look at those shoulder pads. You can't even see her hairline. She's wearing white eyeliner. Come on.
That face.
Ugh. Terrible.
It was called an insane asylum, but he was not insane. Apparently, don't say that.
Well, this courtroom is insane, so we
It
can
is so far,
say that.
and we're not even through opening. But I'm confused, and I probably wouldn't be confused if I could have heard the state, but their dad is. She said when their dad went away, they were implicated in their dad's death in 1988. So I'm confused. What do you mean he went away?
88 was a confusing time, apparently.
But we're 2003.
No?
So, like, yeah, he went away.
Was she in the...
Was he? I don't know. We're gonna see him because he pleaded. So he got 30 years to testify against his sister. We will see him.
What's his name? Mr. Depends?
Richard.
Oh, that's how... Oh, Dick?
Dick Kananen.
Dick
Kananen.
Dick Cannon?
Dick Kananen. It's like
Dick
Cannon.
Cannon. Dick Cannon. He's up next, people. Wow. This trial is something else already. This is only opening statements, people.
Oh my gosh.
This is going to be fun.
Hilarious. And I assume Snipe was talking about this woman's boobs being a fake, but a good job. Good fake.
Which one?
The prosecutor, not the mob.
Oh, yeah. No.
Your nickname in high school was Dick Cannon.
Valhalla, no, it wasn't. You wish it was, is what you meant to say.
I mean, he might have given it to himself.
Yeah. In his dreams, in his own mind, probably.
I mean, Haley believes
See,
it.
even Haley said.
I can believe it.
Haley. Don't do that.
I lived right by the world's largest insane asylum before they said no more lobotomies. Good grief.
I was like, LOL, it could have been.
We have no proof. We
That's
can't
right.
prove it.
Dick
Prove it.
Cannon.
Oh, I'm just picturing now. It's like those party poppers going off where the confetti flies out.
Yes, and it's just like cutouts of dicks just flying. The dicks are just it's like a bachelorette party. Dick confetti is just flying everywhere.
I was just going with confetti, but you took it up like 6 levels.
Well, hey, I mean, that's just what went through my mind. Sorry.
Everyone who talked to me called me that. Nobody talked to me.
Picture it now. Picture it later.
As long as you're picturing it.
Oh, Val.
Well, Gabby and I were apparently picturing it at the same time, so do with that what you want.
Facts.
You just have different confetti at the end of it.
That's true.
Ooh. Giggity. I mean, do you know that's not mayo? Oh my gosh.
No, that's hussy juice.
Ew.
I'm sorry. That just came out. I thought it, and then I didn't mean to say that. That's what I thought in my brain. You see, This is,
Is that what
I
is in
shouldn't be
Judge?
allowed on live, basically.
No,
That's
that's
what I'm
okay.
saying.
That's what I was thinking too, Snipe. It just
It
came
just
out.
came
I'm like, well,
out.
of course
Yeah.
it did. Yep.
I can't.
Yep.
Damn
And now,
plugged. End of story.
wow. And now we know what is in Judge Lubit's coffee cup up there.
I mean, you mean lube? Judge Lube?
Lube. I know. Sorry, it just came out.
I mean, it did. I mean, what else you want me to say? This is why I get in trouble because I have no filter.
Frank. That's what I always said to my ex. Sorry, it just came out.
Yeah, I mean, Frank, I completely understand. Okay, I mean, it happens. It happens. I get it. You were cleaning.
Yeah.
I mean,
This has been quite the stream. We've had beavers and huskies and
don't get me started back on the dang beavers. Good Lord.
Lubit and
Mhm.
Tony Baloney and Colonel Sanders.
Detective Hussey,
Oh my gosh. And Dick Cannon.
Frank, Dick Cannon, Frank, no problem. No problem whatsoever. Thanks for understanding, Gabby. A common issue around Gabby, Haley Mouse says.
Oh, yes.
That's
That's
true.
all.
Oh my God, Pernella.
What are you doing? I'm sorry. I'm surprised that the state didn't put you to sleep. She was
Right?
horrible. And don't forget the judge reporter's rack, or the judge reporter, court reporter. whatever.
The court reporter. Yeah.
If I had to pick one of the racks, I'm picking the defense. Sorry. You got some meat for dinner.
Arby's. We have the meats. Lubette.
Lube.
Lubette.
Lubet.
Lube. Lubette. Lube. Judge Lube. But that's just
Lubet.
what we're calling him.
I just say Lubit. The biggest
No.
issue is no.
Not Lubit. It's just Lubit. You're like wanting to lube it? Oh, come on. Judge
Lubet.
Lube.
Oh, she
Carmen is
definitely
missing out.
I
Carmen-
know. Don't quit your
Carmen
job.
is
though, Carmen.
having serious FOMO right now.
And she doesn't even know it.
Exactly. She doesn't know it.
All right, Pernilla, we will try to put you to sleep now.
My
What-
God.
Was there a motorboat involved like there was in Alaska? I don't know yet.
Well, hold on. Wait a minute. There might be a witness with the last name. We never know, right? We don't know yet. This could be a real thing. So,
I thought you were gonna say with the last name
hold-
motorboat. I'm like, who
Yeah,
has that
no.
last name? But in
No,
this
no.
trial, no, I got
It's
you now.
gotta have the noise of the motorboat. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're almost done. I promise. I promise we're almost done.
All right, I'm on mute before I get way too out of hand.
Detective Chippendale. Nice.
I mean,
Hubba
I can get
hubba,
down with
it's
that.
Debbie Double D on stand.
That one's gonna be held for next Monday, so Carmen can see her.
Oh yes. Oh yes, for sure. What's up, Chloe? I would run. And
Yes,
Detective Pickle
Detective Pickle.
needs to be in here.
Detective. I mean, I feel like he could squeeze in with Judge Lube,
And Detective Hussey.
and Detective Hussey could be in between Judge Lube and Detective Hussey.
And Dick Cannon.
Yes, Dick Cannon can always make a surprise appearance,
Yes.
apparently. All right, I'm on mute before
All
I,
right.
you know,
Okay.
derail
All right.
this whole thing.
Okay.
Insane to go. When he got back from that few months at that place, he was again evaluated by local doctors and exaggerated his symptoms even more to attempt to go back. It didn't work that time, but he did manage to stretch this out for about 3.5 years. All during that time, his sister is standing by, ready to testify against him. He's facing first-degree murder. He's facing the possibility that the state might decide to ask for the death penalty.
Objection, Ms. Stating facts.
It's opening statement. Go ahead.
Cheryl will tell you that when she was deposed by the defense attorney for Richard, they discussed whether or not the death penalty should be imposed. And that she indicated to them she wasn't sure, she hadn't decided yet whether she wanted the death penalty or not for her brother. He's cruising into his trial period knowing all of these things are going on. He faces certainly at the very least life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. And his sister is standing by, ready to testify against him. The last minute, he says, I've got some things to tell you. I want to tell you some things. Law enforcement had already been notified by the Bracken family that he was accusing Stacey. And in fact, while Richard is in jail, when the Brackens come and visit him, he actually tells them Stacey killed her. So they know pretty much what it is that he's going to say. And he enters his plea, and on the record, they say he's going to talk to law enforcement. And within minutes, police are talking to him in this very courthouse. And he gives his fifth version of what happened. I'm going to talk briefly about something, another phenomenon that I'd like you to listen for in the evidence. Memory is not a fixed thing. And I think you are going to see some examples of memories being shaped by what people believe is now true. I'm going to give you an example. Betty Kelly. Betty Kelly was a neighbor, and she will tell you some of the things that she remembers observing in the days after Mom disappeared. When you hear from Stacey, and you will, one of the things that she'll tell you is that when she got out of the hospital and came home, Betty Kelly was the one who brought her customers or friends down to help fill in that horrible hole that was in the backyard. Betty Kelly was a huge support to her. It's unlikely, I think, you'll find that Betty Kelly in those days, after all of the things that she's going to tell you she saw, believed that Stacey had done anything wrong. It's easy to look back and remember things differently when people have told you you're wrong about your opinion. This person's bad. I think the same thing is true of Cheryl. Cheryl, in those days afterwards, was convinced that what Richard was saying was certainly a possibility. She was very scared that her dad would come back. the incident over the yard sale. It's things like that that are entirely innocent at the time that become suspicious after the fact.
Tim's argument.
Yeah, Ms. Tennis, let's stick to, tell it what you think is going to, the evidence going to show.
The evidence is going to show that that yard sale was completely innocent, and it's only after the fact that it was suspicious. Both Stacey and Susan worked at Disney World. They worked there for many years. And you're going to see pictures of their collection of Disney memorabilia. And I dare say you will never see a collection of Disney memorabilia as large as that owned by Susan and Stacey. There will never be any evidence that anything that was sold at a yard sale by two women who owned thousands of pieces of Disney memorabilia was ever taken out of Marilyn Kananen's home. In fact, the three of them loved Disney. The three of them, plus Susan's mother, would go to Disney all the time. You'll see the photographs. They went there frequently. I want to talk a little bit about the handwriting issue that the state mentioned. I believe that you will find that the only evidence that changed from Stacey being a state witness to the prosecution to Stacey being accused of murder is Richard Kananen decided to tell his fifth version. And I don't believe you're going to find him to be a credible witness. The notes that were referred to were notes that were found back on December 22 and had been in the possession of law enforcement in the state since that time. There is going to be some dispute over the authorship of at least a couple of those writings. Tom Baster is a document examiner who will testify for the state. And I believe that Mr. Baster will present evidence as to his comparing those documents to some known signatures, and is going to have an opinion about whether or not Stacey Kananen authored particular writings. I want you to listen very carefully to the basis for this entire opinion and process. I believe that the evidence will show that this is not a scientific field. It's not an academic field. It's a field created by folks who testify in court as to their opinion. It is not peer-reviewed by outside scientific communities. There is no standardization. There is no scientific method. There is no critical review. I believe that Mr. Bastard will tell you that he has compared these documents to try to determine what are characteristics of writing that we all share versus characteristics of writing that are individual to the person in order to determine authorship. I have a gentleman who has studied this field extensively, also testifying. His name is Mark Denbo. And he's going to talk about the faulty methodology and the reason that this is not reliable evidence. There is no study out there that will tell us or tell you, and both of these witnesses will acknowledge this, what percentage of the public, for example, writes the letter M in a particular way, and what percentage of the public doesn't, so that you can try to figure out what are actual individual characteristics. I believe after you've heard from, and keep in mind that you're probably going to hear from both of these people, unfortunately not back to back, because the state is going to put on Mr. Bastrick in their case, and I'm going to put on Mr. Denbo in mine, so it's very possible there may be days in between. I'm asking you to keep an open mind as to how credible and trustworthy and reliable this comparison is when listening to the state's witness on that topic. Ultimately, I think it's going to make sense to you that only Richard Kananen was arrested in December of 2003. He was the one in charge of the cover-up. He was the one with the motivations. He was the one who bought the taser. He was the one that bought the freezer. He was the one who had the strength and ability to carry out the act. I believe when all is said and done, you're not going to find that Richard Kananen is a credible witness. And if he's not a credible witness, you're not going to find near enough evidence to convict Stacey Kananen of murder. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Is this trial real? Did I get punked? Is this a prank? I don't know what to do. I can't with these names. Did she seriously say Tom Bastard? Because that's what it sounded like. And now, yes, we've had the Roman haircut before. That woman looked like Lisa Simpson. Grown up, though. Now you want ramen? I get in my belly. I cannot. Well, I mean, I didn't want to do Florida, but this is the weirdest thing. Like, I know. I can't. I cannot. I will tell you, though, for realsies, my husband used to work with a guy. His name was Dick Cannon. I laughed because I'm a child every time he said. I'm like, I thought he was joking with me when he told me his name, but he wasn't. Smile. I am beginning to think I am Haley. I'm beginning to think this is all a trick. Like, I don't know what's happening. What's up, Shinny? Yes, y'all been messing with me on the name since Tony Baloney now comes along and he is saying Mr. Bastard. I don't know what to do with this. We're never going to make it through. We got Judge Lubit, Tony Baloney, Detective Hesse, Tom Bastard. To who would I miss? Dick Cannon. Gabby has everybody wanting ramen. You haven't eaten ramen in like a year. Spice Baby told me the Korean way to eat it, and I said I would try it. Now I'm terrified and haven't eaten it since. I don't think I want to eat it Korean style. I don't know what that means. And I don't want to. I don't think I want to. That sounds scary. A little terrifying. Oh my. I don't know what to do.
Just dicks shooting everywhere. There's just dicks all over the place right now. Like I just
I don't know how to get out of this. I'm stuck here.
Val, this is where we are, okay? Put your hussy pants on and, join the baloney. Lube up. Val, lube up, all right?
Not gonna lie, you'd marry Dick Cannon. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I
Oh my
probably
God.
smiled every time my husband said his name.
That's hilarious.
Oh, I thought he was joking with me the first time he said it. I'm like, his name cannot be Dick Cannon. He's like, no, it is.
Just the name, I love what she calls him Richard.
Richard.
Yeah, Richard Cannon. Yeah, pew, 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 pew. Everywhere. Like fireworks. Fella awaits. Gotcha.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, Pernilla.
Hey, she came in here, so
I know. Oh my gosh. Harry Beaver catch everything in curls. Ooh.
well, but all right.
I will not. I Googled enough things the last trial that I
Oh
can't.
my god. Robin, I'm laughing so hard.
I mean, dick jigs. I mean, I'm sure Caleb.
Look up Richard Jiggs for fishing. It's a thing. Caleb, is that a thing?
I don't know, but I'm gonna find out.
Oh,
Mr. Caleb said he's about to find out. Did she come with Dick Cannon? That's what that's what Mr. Gabby just said.
I
He
did.
wrote me a note. He wrote me a note on Carmen's handy dandy notebook and
Aw.
showed it to me.
Nope, not me. I didn't even think
AJ said she did not
I did not.
come with Dick Cannon, but Dick Cannon's wife in the trial could have came with Dick Cannon.
Maybe.
I mean, anything's
There
possible.
has
This is only opening statements here.
Snipey.
Snipe Hunter said, but her husband did. Oh. That's a good one.
I do not lie.
No, she doesn't.
Most of the time.
Chloe, when was this trial?
I don't think it ever happened.
Half past a monkey's arse, quarter to his nuts.
Oh my gosh. You mean the missus might have received Dick Cannon? Well,
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
I'd say she did. I think there was a missus. I have no idea.
Well,
I
we're gonna find out, I'm sure.
Somebody I think Robin asked if there was anything, a movie or a docu series or whatever out on this. I have no idea, and I don't know the end of this. Other than I'm just beginning to think it doesn't have one because it's not real.
It's Shinny. It's a real trial. I just looked. We were beginning to wonder because, I mean, all of those names just came out in one thing, in one sentence.
Yeah, that's crazy. How does she keep the blonde streak so straight in the crimper? Remember Eileen Warnos? Was she State or was she Eileen Warnos's that just crimped that one part of her?
Oh my, that was maddening. Remember that? I was like, why is just, what, did she just like not shower her hair through the entire trial and just kept that one random part crimped?
I can't crimp it all, so just right here. Just crimped it. That's all.
It was just not even one whole half of her head. It was just one, the front portion of it was crimped. That was it through the whole trial.
It was just that one. That's how big the crimper was. That's all she could do.
Apparently.
It's like, stop doing that. Oh my god.
She got the judge to lube it. Frank said.
I don't know the end, but I feel like we've heard the story before. Yeah. I have no idea.
You know what, at this point, I don't think you could be wrong because I'm pretty sure we all have at this point.
Yeah. This is okay. Well, tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow, won't you be my neighbor?
Oh, yes.
Oh my
do you see
God.
the way that old mafia gal's looking at her? Like,
oh yeah. She already she blinked once and put a hit out on ramen hair.
Yep,
immediately.
She was like, wait till you walk outside. Yep. Oh, it's great. I love it.
Oh, it's horrifying.
It is not horrifying.
It is. It's obnoxious. I'm not gonna lie.
It is not, and stop it.
Well, Well, I'm gonna have to have my sister come on with me one day, and then you can tell me if it's not horrifying. We legit cackle in the same pitch.
Then it would be
It's
just
hilarious.
doubly great. Say anything in this
Yeah.
trial with a straight face. Anything. I dare you. I
No.
can't. That's why I couldn't finish my sentence from well tomorrow because
It's just the way AJ says Judge Lubia.
Lubia.
Lube.
Lubit.
Lubia.
Lubia.
Lubia. Judge Lubia.
Lubit.
Judge Lube. Just horrifying.
Oh my gosh. I bet he has a vehicle.
I bet he has many.
That was just for you.
They're well oiled. No squeaky parts on that vehicle.
Oh my gosh. See, Flash fan says, yep, you have the Jamie laugh. Yep.
Mm.
Jamie's laugh.
Jamie's laugh. Jamie's laugh is awesome, and it makes you want to laugh. But she has more of like a giggle. I have more of like a cackle.
You each have great laughs in your own ways.
I kind of
Right,
miss
so-
Carmen being here with her hats, though.
I know. You just miss Carmen being here. It's fine.
I do. I do.
It's fine. It's fine.
You know what? Whoever, I said that earlier, we should just be lucky we don't have any
my
squeaky
gosh.
chairs in this one. Let's not curse it. Knock on wood, everyone.
Yeah, let's hope
Because
for better sound. And let's hope that stupid state stays by the mic. They quit it. Go away.
his wife has not worried about menopause. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Tomorrow night. Tomorrow, an 8-foot tall man named Richard opens Gabby's dam and basks in the flood. Wow, I should have read that before I read that. It's
I'm glad you didn't.
of Judge Lubit. That fits right there, whoever. Right there after Brandon.
Because of Judge Lubin. Oh my god. Hilarious.
You know, I'm not even going to try to
Now I
say
have to go back and see what the fishing thing was. What was it again?
Richard Jiggs.
Richard Jiggs. Pew pew. Don't jinx it, Gabby. I know. That's what I'm saying. I thought it, and then I typed it, and then I was like, oh, dang, did I jinx us?
Do not knock on wood and trigger the dog alert.
Mm.
I don't, because that also, yes, triggers. Especially Carmen's dog. Because her
Well.
ears are gigantic.
Hopefully there isn't a cat door alert in this one.
Gosh. Ew. Richard Jiggs.
Wow, Shinny. Sounds like a great jazz player name, though.
Okay. No cat
dog.
Cat dog.
Cat dog.
Oh, we knocked on wood?
I did. I
Oh.
went,
Oh, and you just did it again. She said don't do
Yeah.
that.
well, I mean,
I
it's
didn't
fake
do
wood,
it.
so
It's fake wood.
yeah, it's not
Her
real.
dogs don't know that. That's the dog alert.
Well,
Oh my,
You know.
yes, she did. Stop.
sorry. I take it back.
Don't unknock it. Just
Yes, I'm not
So-
going to knock it.
yes, don't. Yeah, Gabby doesn't have dogs.
I wish I did, though.
Gabby, mine just barked at the door. Thanks.
You're welcome. Anytime.
If mine hear like a truck backing up on TV,
Mhm.
they go to the window and they look outside. Hensley, who we don't have anymore, unfortunately, because she was old and died, but she would hear it and start barking, and I'd be like, it's on TV, and she would be like, oh, sorry.
Well, that's one of your dogs. Isn't one of your dogs afraid of state seals?
That Hera, Hair hates
Hair-
state seals, especially Wisconsin's.
We
She
were
goes,
watching, the Welcome to the Boyd Dome. It would always be
Yeah.
right behind her, and the dog would come and be like, "Oh, I gotta hide that."
Yeah.
She'll start barking if she sees the state seal.
She wants to attack it.
So funny.
She wants to attack the badger on Wisconsin state seal, I guess. I don't know. I haven't shown her one in a while, but I'll have to try it again. But yeah, she's kind of crazy about them. I don't know why. So tomorrow, I have no idea what's going to happen. It'll be a short stream because
Will it though? With Richard Cannon?
yeah. Well, he's not
Will
up
it be-
yet. He's not up
Will it
yet.
be short?
He's not up yet, Gabby.
Oh, okay.
He's still
Flaccid?
yes. Thank you.
Sorry.
We hear from Cheryl Bracken. I know.
These
I know.
names. You can't.
I tried. I can't.
Hands down, hashtag best trial names ever.
I can't remember if this is the defendant's sister. I think she's related, but she's sitting on the state side. Her and her husband, and then their son, who they talked about of being 11 or 12 with their brother, with the defendant's brother. So we hear from her tomorrow. Just depending on how
Wait, there's also a Dick Flaccid in this trial?
just until he gets up.
Anything's possible at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, did Frank leave? Wait.
Night,
See you,
night, Frank.
I just saw Ronnie saying bye. See you in the next part of this cartoon trial. I know. I know. Like I want it to all like I want to find out things with you guys, and then when I try to find out things with you guys, it comes back and bites me.
Well,
This is a peak junior high trial. Yes. The next witness is Hooter McShooters. Or Hooter McHooters.
that's hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
Although, later taters, you didn't even say hi.
Like hanging out, and you didn't even say hi. All you said was bye.
Comes in, later taters.
Whatever. Bye. Oh my gosh. Who said, can he get it up? Can he get up though? Not it up. And then whoever said he's probably stuck in a wheelchair. Do you remember the trial we watched out of Wisconsin with Wish Martin?
Yes, Wish Martin. I love Wish Martin.
You guys would know him better as Mr. Gravely out of Kenosha. Yuck. Yucky prosecutor.
He retired. He's
Oh,
retired
he did.
now.
Thank goodness. Yes. Do you remember the witness? He was a teacher that got up on the stand and she told him to raise his right hand. And I was like, oh my gosh, he doesn't have one.
Yes.
And then he didn't have any. He had no arms.
I remember that. And then we were all talking about it like on live, and then after we found out that he didn't have hands, and we all felt horrible. I was like, why isn't he raising his hand? Like, what is he? Did he not hear? Like, what is happening?
Doing? And then it's like, oh my gosh, he doesn't have any.
That was like the next day after we commented on it. We're like, oh my God, he has no hands. I'm
Had
so
nothing.
sorry.
Oh my gosh, I felt so bad. I felt
That was so
bad.
funny.
That was like,
Oh my God. AJ, this is always a great way to end my days. Gabby, you make me laugh when I need to spit out a dose of wine. I equally love this chat. Have a good night, everyone. Night, Robin.
night, Robin. Raise a foot? I mean,
Yes. I mean, did he even have feet?
oh, I think he
Did
walked up
he?
there just fine. He just
Oh, okay.
he
I
had a
couldn't
jacket
remember.
on, a long sleeve jacket.
I remember this because I remember us like, I analyzed that part because I was like, wait, he doesn't have arms. Wait,
Yeah.
does he have hands? What has
No.
happened? Why is his sleeves like that? What is happening? We're horrible people.
Horrible.
Horrible.
We didn't
Horrible
call him.
people.
I mean, we didn't call him Bob. I don't know
No,
what his
we
name
didn't.
was,
No.
but it was bad. Oh, I felt bad. I
Yeah, we
felt
all felt bad.
horrible. Like, oh my gosh, I'm raise an
That was
eyebrow.
great. Yes. That was a good one. That was a good one.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we'll be back tomorrow at 6. I hope. If,
Hopefully.
YouTube's not like, get out of here.
Oh my God.
Like, this trial's not real. Your channel sucks. Get out.
That was the trial with the defendant who wore a tuxedo. Remember?
Yes, we're like, or like as witnesses.
No,
Oh
he
my,
legit showed up in a tuxedo.
oh, I remember. Yeah. Oh, but he's right where he needs to be. He was such a, oh, so bad. But anyway.
That was during COVID. It was like in a gym, in a school gym.
and
Like,
the
when's the band gonna start?
the assistant prosecutor, remember I can't say it either, surveillance. So she would say
Yes.
surveillance. So I'm like, that's how I'm gonna say it, surveillance, because I can't say it either.
Surveillance.
So we're just gonna have some surveillance going on.
Oh my God, that was so funny.
Oh my gosh, that trial was really
Oh,
sad.
I called her Judge Oompa because she was like 4 feet tall. She was so short. She was like a little minion.
She was.
She had to have like at least 6 yellow pages to sit on to get to the camera's eye length.
Like
It was
NY
hilarious.
New York City sized yellow books,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
because she was really short. That trial
It
was
was.
really weird. Like, they were on a stage. The witnesses were on, do you remember? Like,
Yeah, they were in like a gymnasium of a
like
high
the
school or something.
auditorium.
Yes. But
Like,
like
are we
all the
gonna-
seats were moved and they had tables set up and what's
Yep.
his name? Wish Martin. He didn't need a mic. He had
Mhm.
his mic shut off and he yelled. Like you
He
could hear
always
him.
does.
We joked about it because I'm like, I can hear him. I have my headphones on mute. I can hear him all the way in Massachusetts.
Every once in a while, I get a cold chill. I'm like, ugh, Wish Martin, shut up.
You're allowed to call it out a little, Gabby. I mean, that trial was great. That was a good one.
It was good. Like I said, the trial itself was sad, but everything that happened in it was just insane.
It was so ridiculous.
Okay, so I'm really gonna go now. Oh my
Okay.
gosh, it's almost 9 o'clock. I thought it was like 8 o'clock.
It's past your bedtime.
Every day. Tomorrow, 6 p.m. I promise we'll be back. Hopefully, we've got good
Say.
sound.
Night, night, Pernella.
Good night. Go get some sleep. Oh, yeah, Ronnie O'Neill. Whew. If I could, you can't find that one because if I could, I would do it, but you can't.
That's so funny.
So, all right, Gabby, see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining me.
Yep.
And the rest of you have a great rest of your night. And we'll see you all later.
Bye.
High managing love is kinda uncanny. click like, subscribe, ooh, piece of candy. Looking for my spotlight, chasing my vibe. Still looking for my credibility online. Ooh, hot mannequin, love candy on the floor, don't pick it up. Chasing all the clicks, chasing all the views. Credibility's hiding, but I'm bringing you the news. Every little scroll is a mystery, but you stuck around, watch the show with me. Laughs and chaos, that's how we roll. Drop a comment down below before you go. Every little scroll is a mystery, but you stuck around, watch the show with me. Laughs and chaos, that's how we roll. Drop a comment down below before you go.